Find yourself a girl and settle down. Hey, it's February. You know what that means. It's time for the I love you days. It's time to be aware of Valentine's Day and many other things. We're going to talk about that a little bit today on Laughing with Cancer. So come join me. Ready? Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Laughing with Cancer. Let's live life, not just survive. Laughing with Cancer. If you're not laughing, life will pass you by. How y'all doing? Welcome once again to Laughing with Cancer. I'm your host, Elvis Rico, and this is show number 12, and we are rolling in the February. Today I have a guest that's going to be discussing some articles with me. It's my very own son, Erick J Baisley. Say hello to everybody, would you?
Hi, how's it going? This is Erick J Baisley reporting for duty.
There you go, soldier. Good job.
Laughing with Cancer podcast. Woo!
.com. Remember that.
.com, yeah. And remember, buy it, sell it, love it.
So, did you have a wonderful January? Is your January, your New Year starting off all right?
Yeah, it came out pretty good. Legal troubles are going away slowly. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Slowly but surely they are going away.
Snowboarding a couple of times, getting everything worked out. Gonna get to a workout here in Phoenix here pretty quick, so.
Well, that's good.
It's all working out to the best so far. Knock on wood. Again, I'm very superstitious with that wood knocking.
Okay, if you hear any tinkling, twinkling, and stuff, that's Erick twiddling.
Yeah, I twiddle.
Because he can't seem to stop with the twiddling.
Not to be confused with diddle.
Yes, not to be confused with diddling. He's twiddling.
Yes.
Twiddling pencils and scissors and stuff like that. So
it's a sign of being intellectual. That's what they say.
Is that what they say when you can't keep your hands still?
No, when you spin shit in your hands, yeah.
Okay,
Pens,
no, we can't be
scissors.
saying, we can't be cussing.
Oh, I can't cuss on this one?
No cussing. This is a clean show, son.
This is a clean show.
This is a clean show because we might have.
Okay.
I think we can get away with that one.
Okay.
But you can't get away with that kind of defecation.
Okay. Or else you'll have to put
a different layman's
explicit thing on there.
So we got Valentine's coming up this month.
Yeah, that's a great holiday.
Don't you just love Valentine's Day? Time for the loved ones and the crazy.
I would love to shoot it with a shotgun if it was a living thing.
It is Cupid. You got Cupid. You gonna shoot him?
Oh yeah. I'll pop Cupid. Don't get anywhere near me, Cupid.
Oh yeah.
I don't want you.
No Valentine's for you, huh, son?
Nah, I'm out on that. It's not particularly my thing.
Well, it's not just Valentine's Day this month. It's also, we can hear you opening your drink and closing your drink.
Everybody, they might get thirsty when they hear it. Might remind them to drink water.
Other podcasters are going to listen to this and say, how unprofessional.
How unprofessional. We're not very professional here.
No, we're not. You can hear dogs barking.
We aren't wearing suits and ties talking to you about the morning news,
That's right. And we don't even know what we're talking about, to be honest with you. To be straight, we're just kind of talking to you. We're talking to you about Valentine's Day coming up, but it's also American Heart Month. Did you know that?
You should cut out some of those, though, because there's a long list.
There's a long list.
But American Heart Month, Condom Week on Valentine's Week, that'll be awesome.
That'll be Congenital Heart Defect Awareness Week. That's for all the broken hearts out there that don't have a Valentine. They're just
that's for all the poor bastards.
That's all the poor bastards out there.
I can get away with that word, right? That's not
I think so. It's also Condom Week, like you said, the week of Valentine's Day. Got to make sure you spread the love and you don't
spread anything else.
Just remember,
don't
my
be giving
friends,
away free AIDS treats.
That's right. No glove, no love. Always remember that. No glove, no love. It's also Eating Disorder Awareness Week. I think you had a girlfriend that had an eating disorder, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a girlfriend that had a pretty serious problem with that, like the puking part.
She had a couple of issues, I'm afraid. She was a very beautiful young lady.
Yeah, she was fine. She was ACEs 10. She was 12 on a 10 scale.
I would say ACEs 10. Yep.
It was definitely, she was good at everything except for being normal.
Being normal. Didn't she put crosses up above?
Yeah, she used to put paper crosses above every door because she thought her house was possessed.
Oh my!
She had like I think she watched a movie. She was an alcoholic, so she had like hallucinations and stuff like that. So I think she watched a movie a while back that came out that had these little girls I think it was Paranormal Activities. Had these little girls being haunted since they were little kids, and she came up with that little story by herself, and she ran with it. Put paper crosses on all the doors, and went psychotic, and she's just nuts, man.
But very beautiful.
Yeah, she was gorgeous. Just
it does seem like a lot of the crazies are very beautiful.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I have no idea. Maybe because they can get away with it. So those guys won't put up with. Most guys are like, yeah, I know, bro. She's got a stick in the back of her head, but she's pretty. You know, the front side's awesome.
She'll stab you in your sleep, but she's very beautiful naked.
You're gonna end up like that guy on an article a little while back. Got his penis bit off twice by his wife. He cheated on his wife.
First off, he was talking. It was some Chinese guy. He was talking to his mistress on his wife's phone. Mistake number one: talking to your mistress, texting your mistress on your wife's phone is a no-no. And she caught him doing that, and so she chopped his penis off and tossed it.
Did she bite it off?
I'm not sure if she bit it off or chopped it off or did something. She might have bit it off or something, but they were able to reattach it. Mm-hmm. And so while he was in the hospital, she went into the hospital again and chopped it off and threw it out the window, and they could not find it. They think a dog or something took off with it, and they couldn't find it. God. Could you imagine that poor guy? He's thinking Valentine's Day, never ever again. Yeah. Twice in one day. How does that happen? How do you even let that? How was she? I
think he was probably sedated for the second round. The first one probably hurt.
How was she even able to get back into the hospital?
I have no idea. Well, she's his family. They might not even. They might not even know how he got chopped off in the first place, and just let her in.
She said the scissors slipped. The first time the scissors slipped, she was probably trying to trim some hair or something like that for him, and it slipped. So they didn't arrest her the first time, and then she went in there.
Then she sneaks back in and does the second round too. And she's like, I'm throwing out the window this time.
So that's a crazy story. That's
man.
You think you have a bad day? That guy has the rest of his life.
That's like that picture with the squirrel flipped upside down. He's got his nuts caught in the pole.
Oh yeah, that squirrel.
Yeah, poor squirrel. That's that guy. He's having a worse day though.
Yes, that's a very sad story. Yeah, I read about that story not too long ago.
Yeah,
first you got a guy who gets his
it's blowing up all over Facebook.
Gets his penis chopped off twice in one day. That's karma for you.
Better than the guy that got his head chopped off with the shovel back in the day. Remember that one? Oh yeah, the guy. It was out on the reservation, I believe, out in New Mexico. Guy got caught cheating or whatever. His girl decapitated him with a shovel.
Oh.
Yeah, sweet dreams. While he was sleeping.
Native American dude? Indian dude on the reservation?
Native American woman. I don't know what the guy was, but I believe he's Native American too.
Oh, man. Yeah, so rule number 1. Do not text your mistress on your wife's phone. Nay. So anyways, back to, we covered Eating Disorder Awareness Week. Yeah. So why don't you tell, you've been in the Army. And you served over in Iraq. What's it's National Wear Red Day, first Friday of every February. Is that supposed to be just in February?
It might be something with the Heart Association, but I know every Friday you're supposed to wear red for your troops. That's definitely one thing that you're supposed to be doing.
Every Friday you're supposed to wear red.
Every Friday it's for troops. So.
All right. Well, then I guess I'll start wearing red.
Yeah, on Fridays.
On Fridays.
I don't wear red.
Well, you're a soldier.
I don't have to worry about that. I wear infantry blue.
Infantry blue. Okay. Yeah, so you were over in Iraq. How long were you over in Iraq?
A year.
A year.
I did that whole number.
That's another. We'll get into that story again on another show.
Some other time.
We'll talk about your stay in Iraq. Let's talk about this young lady in Hartford, Connecticut. The Connecticut Supreme Court ruled Thursday that state officials aren't violating the girl's rights of a 17. I should start that whole thing over.
You were doing so good too.
I was. Oh my
great.
God.
I could hear it in my earphones. I was like, oh, I'm so
The
proud
Connecticut Supreme Court ruled Thursday that the state. Oh man!
Now you just
now I'm just
horrible.
totally sound horrible. You want to read this article?
I'm gonna
take a drink. You can hear it now.
Nah, because I got one of those voices that doesn't really carry. You know, I'm not a public speaker.
Okay.
You can tell in the recording, I'm like all quiet and in the corner. You know, got dunce on my head.
You make noise, twiddling, stuff like that. You said it again. God. Okay.
Please help me. Please help me not to cuss. You know how hard it is for an infantryman not to cuss?
That's very hard. Okay, let's start this. Hartford, Connecticut. The Connecticut Supreme Court ruled Thursday that the state officials aren't violating the rights of a 17-year-old girl by forcing her to undergo cancer chemotherapy she doesn't want. The decision came in a case with a girl known into the court documents only as Cassandra C, who will be free to make her own medical decision when she turns 18 in September. Her mother agreed that her decision against chemotherapy. The case centered on whether the girl's is mature enough to determine how to treat her Hodgkin's lymphoma, which she was diagnosed with in September. Several other states recognize the mature minor doctrine. So there's other states that allow a minor to make their own decision.
Yeah.
Cassandra currently is confined to a room in Connecticut's Children's Hospital Center in Hartford, where she is being forced to undergo chemotherapy. Doctors said the chemotherapy would give her an 85% chance of survival, but without it, there was a near certainty of death within 2 years. The teen's mother, Jackie Fortin of Windsor Locks, said after the arguments Thursday that she wouldn't allow her daughter to die. She said they just wanted to seek alternative treatment that doesn't include putting the poison of chemotherapy in her daughter's body. Fortin and her lawyers said that they are considering their next step after losing the case. After Cassandra was diagnosed with high-risk Hodgkin's lymphoma, she and her mother missed several appointments, prompting doctors in Connecticut to call child medical... I'm just having a heck of a time. Prompting doctors in Connecticut Children's Medical Center to notify the State Department of Children and Families, court documents say. The Child Welfare Agency investigated, and the trial court granted the agency temporary custody of Cassandra. Lawyers of Cassandra and her mother then sought the injunction prohibiting medical treatment, but were unsuccessful. The teen underwent 2 days of treatment in November, but ran away for a week, court documents say. Cassandra's treatment resumed December 17th with surgery to install a port into her chest that would be used to administer the drugs. Chemotherapy began the next day and continues, court documents say. Child Welfare Agency officials defended their treatment of Cassandra, saying they have the responsibility to protect the girl's life. So, with that said, what do you think? Do you think that the courts have the right to decide whether or not that Cassandra should undergo the treatment or not? What do you think?
Absolutely not. Not at all, and the fact that they've taken this so far, they're locking her up in a room like she's in jail, forcing her to have a tube put in her chest and forcing her to take medicine that her and her family all agreed on that they don't want to take. It's ridiculous. It's out of this world. I can't believe that they allow, that the state can come into somebody's life and force them to do something like that. I know she's 17, but at the same time, she's not very far from being 18. She's almost an adult. She's at the decision. Even at 17, she can join the military if she wants to. She can, she can go to boot camp at 17, if her parents agree to it. So I don't see why the state should be allowed to, come in and force them to do something that they obviously want to look at other treatments. And to, she's got such a short period of life ahead of her right now, and to take that away and lock her up in her room in a hospital and stuff like that, it's ridiculous.
Now at 17, we know that you weren't necessarily at home at 17. You decided to do your thing, run away, and do your own thing, a little renegade of sorts.
It was crazy. I was having fun at 17. I didn't have any life or death situations going on, but it's definitely well known for, having fun.
Well known of stressing your parents out, having the police bring you home. I remember several times, and you just sneaking.
I was back out the window before the cop even left.
Yep, while the cop was talking to us, he snuck right back out his window and was gone. We're like, okay, what can we do? But you know what? Back then, the police can't make you stay home if you ran away. That's what the cops told us. They can't make you stay.
They just don't want to do any work.
That's that extra work. But anyways, so at 17...
Because they told me the opposite.
Oh, of course they're going to tell you. They're like, we don't want to have to deal with this kid again. Just tell him that he's going to go to jail. They kept
chasing me. They'd pick me up on my way to school. I was still going to school. They picked me up on my way to school and freaking would take me home. I'm like, oh, thanks, guys. It just took me 2 miles back in the opposite direction.
But you turned out to be a pretty good kid.
Okay.
And you got your life together. You joined the military. You did your own thing. So at that age, at 17, if you were inflicted with that type of a disease where you had to undergo that, do you think you have the right to do that kind of decision? Make that kind of decision?
Yeah, I believe if me and my family talk it over and my parents agree with me and I decide that I don't want to do chemotherapy, I think I should be given the right to choose. If I want to try alternative methods, and there's tons of different alternatives out there, and I would want to, look into whatever I wanted to do. If I wanted to do chemo, I'd do chemo. If I didn't want to do chemo, I wouldn't want anybody forcing me to do it.
Well, there was another story that we read on Facebook about a 16-year-old kid that underwent chemotherapy in December of 2014 and then had to do it again in January 2nd of 2015.
The kid that burned his lungs?
Yeah, and it burned his lungs. One of his lungs completely failed, and the other lung, half of it failed. And they had to do an emergency incubation to get him to breathe, to get air to him. So the doctors are letting that family go. They're like, okay, well, go ahead and find alternative methods to your cancer treatment, and sorry for what happens, So
yeah, that's. And I'm sure that they were telling him, oh, you probably got an 85% chance of surviving.
That could have been. And you never know what that chemo was going to do.
Exactly. And they chose to do chemo, and it didn't work out. Now they've got to go a different route. And unfortunately, it worked out poorly for him, and I hope it doesn't work out the same way for Cassandra, There's no telling with that kind of treatment. It's just so harsh, and you don't know which way your body's going to go with it.
Well, I remember when I had to do the chemo, I didn't care. I didn't care too much for it. Of course, I didn't let my hair fall out. I went ahead and shaved my head and just went that way. But it was very.
I shaved my head too, even though I was a runaway. I kept my head shaved till I was like 20.
But yeah, the chemo wasn't nice. It wasn't. I was sick. Didn't like it. And I'm going to have to do chemo again here soon. Not soon, but the doctor already told me that I'm going to eventually have to do treatment again. So I got to decide if I want to try to find an alternative method, whether it be diet,
I heard that marijuana oil stuff works pretty good.
You know what? I might have to go to that.
What is it? It's like some kind of like oil drops or something that they do. I've heard that stuff works pretty good.
I don't know. I've been hearing that marijuana cures.
I got some friends that grow the stuff or whatever, and they have this oil that they make out of marijuana, like the leftovers.
Yeah, like the roots and the stems and the seeds and all that. And then they compress it and all that and make the oil.
Make an oil or whatever, and then they say that stuff works really good. So,
there's a lot of different things that marijuana definitely does for cancer patients as far as pain-wise and
they said this stuff actually helped out like all the way around. And it helped them end up becoming cancer-free.
Well,
so it was their next-door neighbor that they were giving it to, too.
Well, Arizona is.
By 2016, this baby should be up and going as marijuana should be legal by then.
Well, they have it legal as far as medical use only. You can get your medical card. Let's talk like recreational
adults or whatever.
Yeah, recreational use. So they'll have all kinds of.
So it looks like Arizona is going to become or the United States is going to be heading towards legalizing pot. It's going to be like it's like the prohibition with alcohol.
Yeah.
But now it's coming to an end.
And look how dangerous alcohol is.
Yeah, alcohol is far worse.
Way worse than marijuana. And alcohol doesn't cure anything.
Nah, it just causes more problems.
That's right. It does cause more problems, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I'm telling you. Listen to me. Stay away from alcohol.
So yeah,
I'm not even an alcoholic, and it causes me so many problems.
Yeah, I think that the state shouldn't be allowed to tell the student, the child, unless your child is, I don't know. What if your child is 4? You know, you got your child is that young. You know, do you want to still go through the chemotherapy at that age?
I think the parents should have the right to say. I believe that the parents should still have the right to say what they want to happen and still make the choice. You know what I mean? I don't think it's at any point the states, you know, unless the parents are, you know, being negligent and they just don't want to do it because they don't want to pay for it. You know what I mean? That's understandable, you know. But if the parents are, you know, looking for alternative methods for treatment and trying to go a different route with it, I don't think it's anybody's right to say that they can't.
True, but that's got to be the hard decision too. Even though you know chemotherapy is a poison and you don't want to do it, but there's been a lot of cases where children are sick, and for religious reasons, the parents don't want to do what the doctors say, or don't want to undergo certain types of medicine because they think that God will intervene and heal their child, and the child ends up dying anyways. So. Yeah. You know, should the parent be allowed at that, you know, for that point of view, like the state's point of view, you know, that child ended up dying because they didn't get treatment. So, you know, when your child's that young, it's not up to the child.
Yeah, but if it's religion and they believe that their kid's going to go to hell if he does this, you know, it's kind of a conflict between the two. There, you know, if it's part of your religion and it's part of like the way that your people is raised, then it's probably not right.
So do you think that if your religion says not that you shouldn't do it, then and they're big time religious, they shouldn't?
Yeah, if it's the way that if it's the way that they operate and the way that their entire community operates, yeah. I mean. It sucks to say, you know, maybe that kid could have survived if they had done it, but at the same time, you know, the damage it's going to do to the families that believe that kind of thing is going to, taint their child or, you know, whatever, keep them from being able to go to heaven. Then that's...
Well, I guess if that's what they believe, I guess they can live with that.
Yeah, especially if they can live with it. I mean, if the kid's like 17 and he's diehard wanting to do it, and the parents are trying to hold him back from it, you know, I think it's a different story. But if it's a young child, you know, that doesn't know very much or doesn't know any better.
So at what age do you think the child should be able to have a decision in it? 13, 14,
when they're really
15?
Whenever they're really conscious of what's going on around them. You know, when they get to that point where they understand what this decision is going to do to them, you know.
What would you think, 15?
It's going, yeah, I mean, 15, 14, somewhere around there, 13. Whenever you start getting, to the point where, you know, maybe you're not mature about the decisions that you make, but you still, you know what I mean? You still have a pretty good idea of what's going on and, you know, what you want to do.
So Caitlin, let's say Caitlin right now she's going to be 15 next month or this month in February. She's going to be 15 and she got cancer, God forbid. And she didn't want to do the chemotherapy. Do you think Jules has the right to say, okay, I agree with you, but I really think you should do the chemotherapy, but I'm going to agree with you at that age? I mean, how would that go about it if you're thinking about it like that? Say the mom really wants her to do the chemo because of the percentage that it could happen, but
I'll stick to my guns and say if that, you know, was what Caitlin wanted to do, she didn't want to do chemo, then that's the route to take, you know. Sucks, but if that's the choice that they want to make, that's the choice that she wants to make, you know. If she doesn't want to go that route with chemo, then, you know, I don't feel like it's right to force them if they have a say in, or if they have the ability to understand, you know, what it's going to do to them, and and the ability to understand that they have a choice in the matter. I think that, if Caitlyn didn't want to do it, then I don't think it's anybody's right to force her to do it. And I think Jules would take that same kind of stand with it. She'd want to talk her into it, but I think she'd probably, go along with what Caitlyn felt like was her best interests.
Okay.
I think so. I think that's what Jules would probably do.
Probably. And she'd do her damnedest to find out what alternative methods there are out there. Because there are definitely other alternative methods. There are the ketogenic.
Go on the last crusade, huh?
The ketogenic diet. This lady says that cures cancer and type 2 diabetes that her son had. So, and this diet that she's been on, she has a book about it and everything like that. It's called the ketogenic diet.
Oh, so eating chicken and fish?
Basically cutting out carbs and all that stuff, because
I can believe
carbs turns into sugar, and sugar feeds cancer.
It's what your body stores. The carbs is your body's deposits on like say you got lost in the wild. It's what you're gonna live off of. It's what's gonna provide energy for your muscles. You had gained a lot of weight there for a while, and I lost pretty close to 100 pounds.
In how many months?
About like 3 months, 3.5 months, somewhere around there. And you lost 60 the first month and a half.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
but that's diet and exercise, right?
Yeah, that's diet. Well, a little bit of exercise. It was mostly diet. And
what did you mostly eat?
Chicken and fish.
Chicken and fish, no carbs.
No red meat, just chicken and fish. And I left out carbs for about 45, 60 days, somewhere around there. And then I came back and started eating like unprocessed carbs. I no bread, nothing like that, just like vegetables and anything that's pretty much grown but not really made,
So yeah, I think that's what that ketogenic diet is pretty much.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Because it's like, I believe making that ketogenic is making your body start to feed off of the proteins
in your body, yeah.
That you're putting it. You're switching your body from burning carbs to burning protein.
So she claims that it works. She has a lot of people that testify that it works.
True because never mind. I'm not gonna go there.
What?
I was gonna go the fried chicken route.
The fried chicken route. No fried chicken.
No fried chicken.
No, you said chicken and fish. It's not fried chicken.
It's grilled chicken and grilled fish and no butter, stuff like that. Just some simple.
And that's an alternative for a healthy alternative anyway.
Yeah,
That's
no
just
sodas. No, you're just drinking either water or as close to water as you can get. So,
well, I hope that Cassandra definitely finds a alternative route and doesn't have to do the chemo much more. She turns 18 in September of this year. So she's on that, like you said before, she's on that last stretch.
Yeah, that last stretch before she's an adult, and they really shouldn't have any right to say anything about her. I mean, ultimately, she should be able to, if she wanted to, she could become her own, legal guardian. She's at that age where she could do that if she wanted to.
There's kids that have done that at 16.
Yeah. There's kids that go to college at 16,
Yep.
And start off their lives. They're already living in dorms and colleges and stuff like that, Yeah, at 17, there's kids that join the military. And they go off and do that. They go to boot or whatever, and,
Very true. Very true. So, Cassandra C. in Hartford, Connecticut, we wish you the best. And we hope that you find an alternative method and they don't do too much more chemo on you. We'll try to find a follow-up on Cassandra on another show and talk about that. So I want to thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Eric, for joining me, talking to me.
No problem.
Do you have a Twitter or email or anything like that in case any of those lovely...
I don't have a Twitter.
No Twitter?
I'm not tweeting.
You're not tweeting these days?
But no? Yeah, you can get at Gunner Baisley at yahoo.com. It's GUNNER and BAISLEY at yahoo.com. So
yeah, you also have a Google Plus.
Yeah, I get that. Well, yeah, I'm not giving them my Gmail.
No Gmail.
My Gmail's my personal little. That's my baby.
That's your.
You gotta keep her locked down tight.
Separate one so you can.
Yeah, that's where I put all my sexy pictures up and tell all the girls to go check it out.
All right, you want any of the ladies to know
Facebook's where the family's at.
Facebook's where the family's at.
So I gotta keep the Gmail cleaned out for special occasions.
What
my POF and all that crap.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
POF's awesome.
What's that?
Plenty of fish.
Yeah, I was gonna say plenty of fish.
Plenty of fish.
Oh my goodness.
It's awesome. It works. It works real well. And most everybody's just trying to hook up anyway, so it's not like you have to get into committed relationships or anything.
And that's PLF?
Yeah, POF. It's not like whores. You're not paying for it, but...
No. That reminds me. Speaking of, it is going to be Condom Awareness Week at Valentine. So always remember.
Wrap it up.
Remember. Don't be...
Put the cape on Superman.
That's right. No glove, no
around
love.
The world,
Right? Right? Because there's like I've heard you tell me before, there's definitely diseases out there that chemotherapy cannot cure.
Yeah. Exactly. There's some things out there that you just can't get rid of and are going to mark you for life. So better stay away from it.
That's
right.
Got
herpes, genital warts.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, all this fun stuff.
That's
if you go raw dog.
That's terrible.
If you go in deep in your cheap, you're gonna get.
Oh my goodness, you're terrible.
You're gonna have a bad day.
You're terrible.
You gotta make sure you wrap it.
So yes, that's right. So remember, Condom Week, the week of Valentine's Day, and Eating Disorder Awareness Week, the last week of February. So don't get too depressed and eat a whole bunch, or get too depressed and just not eat at all and sleep and all that. Whatever it is, don't throw it up.
There's no reason not to eat or to eat too much.
That's right. Just eat healthy. Try to eat healthy.
Yeah, and if you're gonna do it right.
That's right. That's right. Hey, what else is February? Isn't it Black Awareness?
Oh yeah, month? It's Black Awareness Month.
Yeah,
it's African. I have no idea what that's all about because I'm white, but
yeah, well, you're half brown.
Yeah, I'm half brown. I got some brown in me, but it's not that brown. It's not that,
Yeah, so it is African American month.
What? Am I Mexican, I think?
Yeah.
Like pumpkin farmer Mexican from Texas kind of
stuff. That's right. Anyways, thank you guys for jabbering with us and listening to us jabber along. And like I said, Cassandra C in Hartford, Connecticut, I hope everything works out for you and your family. You guys can find me on iTunes. I'm definitely on iTunes. Check out Laughing with Cancer on iTunes. I'm also on Stitcher. You can check me out on Stitcher. Go to my website, laughingwithcancerpodcast.com. Go on there, give me a comment. I'm also on Twitter at Laugh with Cancer or at Elvis Rico. Make sure you go to my Facebook. It's Laughing with Cancer on Facebook. Give it a like. Give it a comment. Go to podcastland.com.
Super easy.
Trust easy.
I get my head beat in every month about it, and it's really easy. Just go in there, type in your email, and hit the button.
That's right.
And confirm it in your email.
Done and done. Yeah. Simple. Boom, boom. And
I do it with never mind. I won't admit this online.
He just does it for me. He goes and he votes for me, and I appreciate the votes that everybody has been giving me on podcastland.com. You've been keeping me up in the top 5 on podcastland.com. Hopefully, I'll get podcast of the month here pretty soon. We don't know, Mr. Michael Kalili.
How do you get podcaster of the month?
I don't know.
What golden knee pads do you need to break out?
I don't know
to get that one.
It's Michael Kalili's website, Chemda Kalili from Keith and the Girl.
Uh-huh.
It's her brother's website.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Keith and the Girl. Hey, yeah, make sure you go.
Mostly a New York-based website, or?
No, well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
It's his website, but he has all kinds of different podcasters on the new podcasters, beginners, stuff like that. Because podcasting's making a rise. There's a lot more people starting to do podcasts and stuff like that. But yeah, that's Michael Kalili, Chemda Kalili's brother. Chemda's getting married
website
this
like
month.
Chemda's getting married?
She's getting married to
the
Lauren.
girl?
Yeah, to Lauren.
What?
To Lauren this month in Hawaii. Yeah, nice. Congratulations, Chemda. Make sure you guys go check out my friends at keithandthegirl.com. Give them a listen. They'll definitely put your funny in your funny bone. You know what I mean? If you guys have a comment, want to give me any suggestions on the show, on cancer, on survival, on anything, go to laughingwithcancer@gmail.com. Even if you want to give me some hate mail, I don't care. I'm looking forward to my very first hate mail. You know what? I'm just nobody sent me no hate mail.
You should definitely do it. I would. I think you suck. You suck at having cancer. You're just a bad guy.
You can't do cancer very good.
Yeah, you can't do cancer very good. You know, your chemo next time. Blah. Oh, it's so jacked up.
That would be jacked up if somebody's. And then at the end, just kidding. Love your show.
You suck at cancer. Yeah, you suck at cancer, but I love you.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
You don't make me
I felt like a D for saying the first part, so I had to finish up with the second part. I love the show. Have a good one.
That's right. Anyways, thank you, and I appreciate you guys letting us jabber with you, like I said before. And
finish off the show with a drink.
A drink. And I'll have you on the show again. We're going to talk a little bit about your. Listen to him make the noise on purpose. He's doing it on purpose. Can you believe it?
Yeah, well,
just so I can hear it when I'm editing the show. See that? He has to go and make a swallow in the thing. These kids. Oh my God. But yeah, we'll have him again on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have him again on the show. We're going to talk a little bit about his Army days and his thoughts about Iraq and stuff like that. It might be a little bit of a serious show, my friends. What do you think, son?
One day, yeah, sometime soon.
We'll talk about it. Until then,
we'll go in deep.
There you go. We'll go in deep. We'll get some information about some of your coping methods, some of your music methods. We'll get into all that.
Yeah, we'll get it done.
We'll get it done. All right. Once again, thank you and peace, love, and stay laughing.
Bye, guys.
Laughing with Cancer Podcast.com